Hi, I'm Sig Murphy, co-founder and president of Intruvent Technologies. My co-founder and I built Intruvent with one mission: help organizations around the world avoid becoming victims of cyber intrusions. We do that two ways: world-class services like digital forensics and incident response, and cutting-edge technology. Today I want to show you one of those technologies, Brace, the breach recognition and classification engine. Brace is an AI-powered cyber threat intelligence platform. It continuously gathers threat intelligence from reputable community sources and emerging signals from places like the dark web. That data gets processed, enhanced, and categorized in what we call the Brace Threat Desk. Every month, Brace produces reports on cyber threats facing each of the 16 critical infrastructure sectors. But here's where it gets interesting. Brace can also be pointed at your specific company. It analyzes your microsector, your geographic location, and your operating environment to create a completely customized and hyper-localized threat intelligence report. It's really one of a kind, built for you. Now let me walk you through the largest of the three reports that Brace customers receive each month, the Deep Dive. Customers also get a 2-page snapshot summary and a cross-sector analysis that shows threats that are spanning all of the critical infrastructure sectors. But let's dive in. We'll start with the executive briefing and the Intruvent threat rating. The ITR was created by my co-founder, who is a mathematician and statistician. They created the ITR so that we would have a mathematical way to track the threat actor activity facing a particular sector in a given month. We can use this ITR rating to compare monthly change, look at trends, and compare against the other sectors. Right now, we're looking at the financial services sector report from October 2025. So this is all for financial services for that month. As part of this executive briefing, we also go into the top 3 active threat groups and why they are targeting the sector and what attack methods they're using. Then we go into the top 3 critical defense actions that can be used to defend against those threats. Now let's jump into the current attack case studies. These are attacks that have occurred on actual victims in the sector over the last 90 or so days. We go into the who, what, when, where, how, and why of the attack. What attackers were targeting the victim, what happened when they got in, and what was the actual response by the victim and the actual impact. Next, we'll start getting into the meat and potatoes of Brace, where we identify the top 6 most active threat actors targeting the sector. Every month, we analyze hundreds and hundreds of cyber threat intel leads and reports. So for any given sector, we might have 30 to 40 to 50 threat actors active in the sector. But we identify the top 6 most active, and we write up what they're doing in the sector here. Then we take those top 6 and we analyze what their standard MITRE ATT&CK TTPs are that they use to carry out their attacks and activities in the sector. We then put those TTPs into a heat map that you can see on the screen. For instance, the MITRE ATT&CK TTP T1078 valid account use is actually used by 5 of 6 of the most active threat actors targeting the financial sector for that month. We take those TTP mappings and we actually put them into and translate them to MITRE defend codes here. This technique is credential hardening and multi-factor authentication, which defends against T1078, which we talked about above, and 2 other TTPs. So for this one, Brace doesn't just tell you what's coming, it tells you how to defend against it. We talk about how to implement the defense and success metrics for that implementation as well. We then give you example tools that can be used to carry out that defense activity. All right, now on to the CVE section. This is pretty straightforward. We include CVEs that are impacting the sector and how to mitigate the damages from those CVEs. Next, we'll go into the detect section, and this is where security teams get really excited. We actually provide production-ready Splunk queries that are mapped to attacker TTPs. This one, like we talked about, T1078, is used by Scattered Spider, HeckMe, BLACKBYTE, LOCKBIT, and 2 other actors as well that are targeting the sector. We go into what data sources are needed and how to run the query, and then if you detect it, what to do for that detection. Every intrusion is different. but this is a general good starting place to use if you do detect activity from that particular TTP. Next, we're going to go to the hunt section. This is another one that security teams really like. And this is basically a breakdown of each threat actor that's in that top 6 group targeting the sector and how to threat hunt in your environment for the signs that they've been targeting you or been active in your environment. We usually do this through a 5-step process, looking for different things that they are doing to carry out their attacks. For instance, for Scattered Spider, we actually start with hunting for MFA fatigue attack patterns. And we identify how to do that using Splunk and what data is necessary to be accessed and analyzed. We have a lot of hunt, data in here for each of the major threat actors, as you can see. Next, we're going to talk about the emerging signals section. Emerging signals are lower confidence intelligence from vendor threat predictions, dark web sources, and early stage observations from other sources as well. And we try to confidence rate these, but these are identification of changes in attacker TTPs and attacker actions that are occurring in the sector. So these are things to watch out for down the road to protect yourself. We have a lot of additional data in here, including strategic recommendations for our CISO clients and our directors of security, but we won't get into that in this video. I want to say thank you very much. That's the deep dive. It lands in your inbox every month, tailored to your sector. It starts at $3.99 for a single sector, or you get all 16 sectors for an additional cost. You can visit intruvent.com/brace to get started. That's intruvent.com/BRACE to get started. Once again, thank you very much for joining today, and I really appreciate it.